Hi everyone, welcome back to Yan Chinese. This is Yan 老师. Over the past 5 episodes, we have been building your understanding of Chinese characters from the inside out. How they were created, what their components mean, and how those components hint at pronunciation. Today, we step back and look at the big picture. How are Chinese characters organized spatially? How do the components fit together inside that square? This is 汉字结构, character structure. Think of it as the architecture of 汉字. Once you can see a character's blueprint, you will know where every stroke belongs. The structural category in this episode follows the integrated Chinese textbook series, the same system many of you will see in your classes. Here's something fundamental that English speakers often don't realize. Every single Chinese character occupies exactly the same amount of space, one square, whether it has 2 strokes or 20. It fits inside the same invisible frame. That's why characters are called 方块字, square block characters. And inside that square, characters are not drawn freehand. They are built like architecture. Look at Mu, tree, one primitive block. Now snap 3 of those blocks together, 1 on top, 2 below, and you get Sen, forest. Same component, new blueprint, new character. Chinese is highly modular. Instead of memorizing thousands of unique drawings, you only need to learn to see the underlying spatial blueprints. Today, I will show you 9 of them. Blueprint number 1, 独体字, unitary characters. One single component fills the entire square. No left or right, no top or down. Just one unified shape. 日, 月, 山, 水, 人, 木. Notice these are the pictographs we met back in episode 2, the oldest, most basic characters. They matter for another reason too. Unitary characters are oftentimes the building blocks. Almost everything else on today's list is assembled from them. Blueprint number 2, the most common structure in all of Chinese, 左右结构, 2 components side by side, left to right. Now, here's the most useful shortcut in this whole episode. In left to right characters, the left side is almost always the radical, the meaning. The right side usually hints at the sound. Left for meaning, right for sound. Look at ma again. 女 tells you it's related to a woman. Ma tells you it sounds like ma. Mother, ma. Though this rule isn't 100%, but it works often enough to be your first instinct every time you meet a new left-right character. Blueprint number 3, 上下结构, one component stacked on top of another. 字, a roof on top, a child below. 想, to think, to meet someone, with the heart at the bottom. Father, 父 on top, 八 below giving the sound. 笔, pen, bamboo radical on top, hair below, which is literally what a Chinese brush is made of. 草, grass, with the grass radical 草 on top. 2 patterns worth remembering. The grass radical 草字头 always live on top, and the full heart radical 心 very often sits at the bottom. And notice that in top-bottom structure, the sound clue can be on either floor or on the top. The structure tells you where the pieces are. What each piece means, that's something you learn character by character. Blueprint number 4, 左中右结构, horizontal trisection. 3 components share the square from left to right. 做, to do, 见, gradually, 树, tree, 粥, rice porridge, 班, class. When 3 components share one square, every one of them has to slim down. Each section gets roughly a third of the width. Keep them tall and narrow, and the character stays balanced. Blueprint number 5 is the same idea turned vertical, 上中下结构. 3 components stacked in 3 floors. E, meaning idea. Same writing principle as before, rotated 90 degrees. Each floor gets compressed in height, so all three fit inside the square. Blueprint number 6 begins the enclosure family, 全包围结构, full enclosure. One component completely surrounds another. 国, country. Jade inside a border, a treasure inside the walls. 回, to return. 园, garden. Notice the frame is always cold, but a big cone stretches to the edges of the square. And here's a preview of next episode. Enclosures have a famous stroke order rule. Outside first, inside next, close the door last. Remember that phrase. That was the only full enclosure. The rest of the enclosing family leaves an opening. And these next 3 are semi-enclosures, wrapping either 3 sides or 2. Blueprint number 7. 三面包围, 3-sided enclosure. The frame wraps around 3 sides and leaves 1 side open. In all 4 of these characters, the opening is at the bottom. 问, to ask. 同, saying. 间, room. 往, net. When you write this, the frame goes first. The contents go inside. And because the bottom is open, there's no door to close. Blueprint number 8. 左下包围, left bottom enclosure. The frame wraps around the left side and the bottom, like an L bracket holding the component. 这 is 进 to enter, 远 far, 到 road, 过 to pass, to cross. You have spotted the pattern. They all share 走之旁, the working radical. Anything wrapped by 走之旁 has something to do with the movement, roads, or distance. And here's the surprise we'll prove next episode. Even though 走之旁 sits on the left, it's written last. The passengers get in first. The road is paved underneath. And blueprint number 9, 左上包围, left top enclosure. The frame hangs over the top and the left side, like a roof with 1 wall. 房 house. 店 shop. 病 illness under the sickness radical. 屋 历 calendar. Look at what these radicals have in common. A door, a shelter, a roof. A lot of left top enclosures carry meaning about buildings, shelter, or being under something. Because the radical doing the enclosing often points that way. Spot the enclosing radical, and you have often got a clue to the meaning. Time to test your eyes. Look at these characters. They are floating on the screen right now. Pause the video if you want and name the structure of each one before I do. Ready? 忙 left to right. 过 left bottom enclosure. 想 top button. 国 enclosing. 接 horizontal trisection. 屋 left top enclosure. 水 unitary. 月 unitary. 班 horizontal trisection. If you got most of this, congratulations. Look at these characters again. You no longer see random strokes. You see split pillars, stacked floors, L brackets, and courtyards. You can now see the invisible architecture of Chinese. To master structure is to hold the roadmap for writing. In episode 7, we put pen to paper, or brush to paper, as the ancients would say. We will learn 笔画, the basic strokes, and 笔顺, stroke order. Outside before inside, left before right, top before bottom. After today, every one of those rules will make perfect sense. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like and subscribe to Yan Chinese. Enjoy your studies. See you next time. 再见。